Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jesse Dow, and I am a top 100 influencer agent here at eXp Realty. I am a 5-year icon, just coming up on my 6th year, and I've closed over 837 transactions and counting, on my way to 1,000. You guys can follow me along. I've generated $1.1 million in revenue share. Yes, that's not sales, that's not real estate commissions, that's revenue share back from eXp Realty, and I absolutely love that. And I've also earned over $200,000 in eXp stock through the Culture Program. Now, this channel gives you elite behind the scenes access to real numbers, real strategies, and real-time updates here at eXp Realty so you can make the smartest decisions possible for your business. Now, if you're a serious agent that wants multiple streams of revenue and not just out there selling real estate, because anyone can go out there and sell real estate and get those commissions. But if you want incremental streams for doing the exact same thing, then this channel is for you. And today I'm going to be talking about all of the trainings and all of the support here at eXp Realty. Now, I have this list here of the top 10 things that agents are concerned with before joining. Now, there's things like lack of physical office space, which I'll address. There's technology overload, which I will address, quality of training and support, which I will address, choosing the right sponsor, long-term career growth, and financial stability of the company. Well, financial stability, we are the largest independently owned real estate brokerage in the world. We are also the most profitable real estate brokerage. We are publicly traded. We're on the NASDAQ S&P 500 list. eXp Realty is still 47% owned by Glenn Sanford, the CEO. So we're always doing what's right for the agents. We're always investing back into the technology and support. And on the back end of eXp, guess how many support staffs we have? We have over 2,000 support staffs working behind the scenes to keep this machine running on track. Now, eXp is a cloud brokerage. It's been around since 2014, and cloud-based just means you can go into any other market, flip the switch, and boom, it'll rinse and repeat itself. Now, the cool thing about that is when you look at all the franchise models out there, so Keller Williams, Remax, Century 21, they all say independently owned and operated. That means every single location is independently owned and operated. So you might have 4 Keller Williams in your market. There might be 4 different franchise operators with 4 different sets of rules, 4 different split and cap structures. And if you're on a border state like I am, where I'm licensed in 3 states, they could all have their own system. So you're paying 3 different caps. That was one of the main reasons I came to eXp, was because I was at a point in my career where I was expanding and growing, and no franchise model could help me out. Yes, some of them had expansion models, but none of them spoke the same language. They didn't offer the same support. They were all trying to create their own technologies, and they were all broken, and they were all just like a car clunking along. So when I jumped into eXp, I saw my business go from 10 million to 50 million the first year to 100 million the second year. And it's just been off to the races, and it's so awesome. And where we were back then to where we are today is light years ahead. So eXp is a growth company. That specifically means that we are every single stage of agent count in a state adds layers of support. So very simple, at the top, you have the designated managing broker. And then underneath that, you have associate brokers. So let's just say for every 100 agents, they add an associate broker. So if you're at 1,000, you have 10 associate brokers. Very simple math. Now, each state also has a compliance department as well, and that's based on agent count, contracts, and compliance. And then we also have commissions demand department. So realistically, we have 4 layers of support. We have the broker, we have the associate broker, we got contracts, compliance, and then we have commission demands. So it's all based on agent count. So California's department is going to look a lot different than, let's just say, Rhode Island's department. California may have 30 support staffs, where Rhode Island might only have 4 support staff. So agents are always concerned about that because they don't really understand it. So just imagine taking your small little franchise model, or if you're interviewing brokerages, and they typically have 1 broker on duty. They have maybe 1 contract person, but usually it's the broker doing everything and their assistant. You guys, that is not how we operate. So when I bring agents in, I walk them through all the systems and structures, and they are always mind blown. One of the other cool things is we get paid on demand. What do I mean by that? It means as soon as eXp gets a copy of the check on commissions, that money goes directly into your bank account. They don't even need the physical check. eXp floats every day $30 million. If you don't think eXp is doing what's best for the agents, that is absolutely mind-boggling. eXp pays you before they get the check. That is so cool because a lot of these agents out there are 2 weeks, 4 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks out from getting their checks. And I've talked to brokerage owners that have say that they have a $150,000 position, say they're operations manager for their brokerage, and all day they're just running around chasing checks. Once they can eliminate that, that's a huge draw to eXp and why a lot of brokerages fold into the mix. If you look around the country, the top teams, the top solo agents, the top brokerages are all folding into eXp. Why? It's very simple. It's very lonely on your own little lonely islands out there. And everyone gets to a point where they're just like, I just don't want to do this by myself anymore. And what's stopping them and holding them back from joining something like eXp, same thing I went through. It's 100% ego. You think you know what's best. You think you know better. Nobody can do it better than me. All of the things. And when you talk to all of the top producing brokerages that fold into eXp, I'm talking the biggest independent brokerages in the entire world. When they come here, they all say the same thing. I wanted to be the biggest in the room. I wanted everyone to think I was king. Well, then they come into eXp. Good example, Chuck Fazio. His brokerage had 900 agents. He comes to eXp and he grows his organization. And guess what? He's at 10,000 agents and he's making way more money with way less headaches because eXp is a leverage machine. Now, let's talk about more support because I want to show you guys if you were to talk to your broker, how would that look? So let me share my screen. So if you were to speak to your broker, what would that look like? So what I would do is I would just come into exp.world/welcome and I'd come right into eXp World here. It's very simple to navigate around here. Now, if you need help when you cruise into the eXp virtual world, all of these people are real life people. I can come over to the help desk here and ask for some help. You can see that there's a receptionist there. We have 24/7 support here. So if I just click on go to, I already know where I'm going, but I just come down here to US broker rooms and I come down to any state. It doesn't matter. I could go into California, Missouri. Let's just cruise into California. I'm not even licensed in California, but let's just go over there. So I'm transitioning over to the California state room. Now I come in here and right here, this gal, Ellen, she's asking me right now, hey Jesse, how can I help you? Hey Ellen, I'm doing a tour and I'm just showing people what it's like to use eXp World. Okay, cool. So anyway, she just asked me, this is exactly what you can expect. So if I just click on, I have a question, you can either click on broker or do you need admin support? And once I click on that, it's gonna pull me in immediately to speaking with the broker or admin. So that's contract compliance or that's commission demands. So I'm gonna cruise out of here. That's how easy it is. Now I can also come over here into workplace chat and I can communicate directly with the brokers through workplace chat and text message or call them directly and they're always answering. Now the cool thing is in eXp, we have an eXp expert care desk. You can call this number right here, 833-303-0610, 24/7 support, 24/7 support. Now, they've received over 200,000 calls last month. And guess what? They had a 97% successful closure rate on those calls. That is absolutely insane. That just goes to show the layers of support. But when I come back in here, every single week, eXp has multiple different state meetings, and they also have multiple different state trainings specifically for their state. Same with getting started into eXp. So eXp has full-blown onboarding. So eXp has onboarding every single day. So if I just came in here into the eXp training calendar, you'll see getting started right here, and you'll see live agent startup sessions every single day. You literally sign up for this class and you can actually do it on demand, but you're gonna go there with a live person. It's like 2 to 3 hours and they're gonna walk you through A to Z on how to get your whole entire system set up here in eXp. Now, agents always ask me is like, how fast is it to get started at eXp? The day you apply, you can put in there that you want to come over, say the following day. eXp promises that they'll have you onboarded within 72 hours, but if you apply in advance, eXp will have you on within like as fast as your broker can release your license. So eXp, if you're a current agent, they will never, ever contact your brokerage and say, hey, Jesse applied, we're waiting for you to release their license. As soon as you apply, eXp sends you an automated system. It's an automated step-by-step process. And it'll say, all right, you'll get to a part where it says, please notify your brokerage to release your license. So you would contact your broker when you're ready. Don't do it in advance because agents are all the time, they call me. I just had it happen the other day again after bringing on 1,000+ agents. I always say, don't tell your broker you're leaving until you're ready to leave. So this agent goes and tells his broker, hey, I'm gonna go to eXp. What does he do? He shuts down the whole agent CRM and everything. He's like, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I said, I told you that was gonna happen. He's like, well, I didn't really think he was going to do it. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So if I just hit back, if I just come back over here to the eXp University homepage, that was under the calendar. Now, if you look at all of those different classes, there's so much stuff in here, so many learnings. These are all live classes every single day. So you can click on different things. Like I just said, getting started. You want to do classes in Spanish. There's all these different Spanish classes. State-specific training. So these are just for your state specifically. They're required to do them every single week. So there's broker agent meetings. There's agent-led trainings. There's all sorts of different things in there. There's ones for Canadian, international trainings, commercial trainings, luxury agent trainings, and then agent-hosted trainings. The cool thing about the agent-hosted trainings is this is done in eXp World, which is back underneath the world that I just showed you. It'll tell you what room it's in. So you just click the go to button right here. So go to main auditorium, or you can go into different rooms here. And this is where the classes are held. And you're watching someone in live do the trainings. The cool thing is if you're a brand new agent or a seasoned agent and you just love educating agents, you can apply your class and submit an event. And guess what? They'll review your training curriculum. And then if they approve you, you'll go in and be a teacher. This is one of the most impactful things in the game because now you're learning from other producers. The number one thing that I think screws up a lot of agents and why the failure rate is so high in real estate is because agents are like, oh, I'm gonna go join this brokerage. They have the number one agent, blah, 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 blah. And then they never see that agent. That agent is unavailable because the team lead or the solo agent that's producing at a high level is not helping the agents. They are not helping the agents. I just canceled out of eXp World because people were talking. I couldn't get it to stop. So they're not helping the agents grow. Here, we are incentivized to help the agents grow and scale their business. So let's go back to the university page here. And then there's lots of different learning paths. So if you're a brand new agent or a solo agent that's stuck in the weeds and you can't get rolling, there's a whole entire training path. And the cool thing about the training path here is this puts you on a path to success no matter where you are in your real estate career. Solo agent, just getting started, wants to then form a team, wants to then really expand and grow out throughout the country, wants to basically create their own brokerage on the back of eXp. All of that is feasible. I hear every single agent that starts getting traction, what do they say? I want to open my own brokerage. Okay, that sounds like a miserable idea because there is a time when you go into your team model when you're about 3 to 18 agents where you're not making any additional money, but your headache's growing and you're just getting pissed off. And you're like, why isn't this working? It's very simple. The model has been rinsed and repeat so many times. There's an exact structure to do that. And a lot of agents end up going back to becoming a lean machine. And I'm telling you right now that the fastest, most scalable way to do this anywhere in the world is right here at eXp because we have the paths to do that. And then there's team trainings, there's capping and icon agent trainings for people that attract like myself. I'm also a team owner. I also work with lots of big solo agents, so I pretty much know the lay of the land. There's trainings in Spanish, and then there's international trainings that I just showed you. Now, let's look at this emerging agents, because chances are you're probably a newer agent, but even if you're a successful growing agent and you're looking to attract newer agents, this is great for you because eXp does all of the heavy lifting. So FastCap is a 6-week all-intensive training program. And this right here, it shows all the dates that it's coming up. We're in June right now. So the next one is coming up in July. One just kicked off last week. Actually, 2 kicked off last week. And then you'll see it says enrollment closed. Here's the key element to this, guys and gals. There's not only do they do it during the day, but they also do it at night. So if somebody has another job, guess what? This is perfect for you. I always tell agents, eXp was built for people trying to get into real estate. The trainings and tools back in the day probably weren't ideal because we didn't have fast cap back then. We had fast start, we didn't have fast cap. And the cool thing is look at this. This is the time commitment. 3 hours per week live training. Can you attend 3 hours per live a week? You better believe you should be able to if you want to be a successful agent. 4 to 5 hours per day for these tasks. If you're not doing transactions, you should be spending this time, 4 to 5 hours completing these tasks. That's all you should be worried about. Now there's optional bonus materials, 1 to 4 hours a day. And then the kickoff sessions are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live. And then you have your FastCap weekly time commitment calendar here. If you complete every single task on here, guess what the average agent, after putting over 1,000 agents through this program, has done? The average agent, if they've completed all the tasks, there's been actually, I think, over 9,000 agents that have completed this now. The average agent, 6 6.9 contracts signed in 6 weeks. If you did the bare minimum tasks, it was about half of that. Or no, sorry, 6.4 contracts. That is absolutely mind-blowing. There's no other program on the planet that you can go from 0 to 6 weeks, and guess what the best thing about this is it's free. It's free. If you were to do this same program at KW under Bold, they're charging you $750. The reason that we do it is because we're a cloud-based model, and eXp Corporate does not have physical locations. However, many broker agents at eXp have physical locations. And if I come back to my advantage doc here, what does it say right here? Regus offices at eXp. So like I said, it's $149 to get set up and then $85 a month to keep all of your systems active. That's all you would ever pay if you never sold a single house. But you also with that get access to Regus. If you were just to use Regus on their community pass, it's about $250. eXp, your $85 a month fee, it's including your Regus office pass. That is huge. So, and also if there's a physical location in there with another agent at eXp, which there's pretty much physical locations in every city in America with eXp, and if that's important to you, contact me, because we can co-sponsor not only with me, but with another agent with the physical location in that marketplace. I think physical locations, like once you get up and running, many agents don't use a physical office. All the other cool things that you get. So with your $85 a month, you get SysU. So with that fast cap, you get plugged into SysU, which is a transaction management dashboard and software. So you can see where you're at, but then also if you're on a team or your mentor's watching you, they can have access to your dashboard too to hold you accountable. That is mind blowing. You get Canva Pro here. It's what is Canva Pro? If you bought it on the outside, I think it's like 10 to 12 bucks a month. Here, free, has all of your built-in marketing templates. And I'll show you that actually right now. So check it out. I'm inside of Canva right now, and it comes standard with eXp. So you get your Canva Pro. So if I just click on brand here, this has every single piece of every single marketing element built in here. So you need business cards, you need postcards, you need open house flyers. Every single thing is pre-built out for you in Canva Pro. Now here's the cool thing. We have AI integration coming, which will then, you'll be able to automatically sync it up to like your social media and all the things. So that's super, super exciting. We got Workplace. I showed you how that worked through Workplace Chat. We also have direct access to Build a Sign. That's a sign company that it comes with all the pre-built signage templates, whether it's listing signs, open house signs, also for external. It already has all the branding assets in there. You can just upload your picture and boom, it's pre-made. If you want to upload your custom branding, you can do that as well. We have SkySlope. That's our transaction management software. I'm not going to bore you with some of this stuff, but that's super important. That's also included in your $85 a month. eXp Enterprise and My eXp. We have direct access to all of these lead generation tools. So here's the other cool thing. eXp has what they call a CRM of choice. That's your options to use one of 3 CRMs. KV Core, which is now called Bold Trails, Lofty, which was formerly Chime, and then Close. So you get to choose. You come on, you take a little survey, and then boom, it'll tell you which one that your best fits with you. Now, you have to stay locked into that CRM for 12 months. But say 12 months comes up and you're like, I don't like this one, I want to try a new one. You can easily switch. And if you're a team lead, guess what? The cool thing is they don't charge you for additional seats. That saves team leads a huge amount of money. So then Revenos is a program that includes all of these referral systems. So relocation, making it rain, military rewards, and it's just like Zillow Flex. There is an additional split to eXp if you use any of their referral systems. So you just get approved, you go through, you get your certification, and then boom, you can start receiving those leads. And if you close one, you do pay an additional fee, but there's any other, whether you're using, Zillow Flex or OpCity, it doesn't matter. You're always paying an additional fee. So, and then there's My Link, My Lead. Let's just say I give a referral for somebody out across the country. I don't want to track that person throughout my whole entire career here at eXp, and let's say it takes them 2 years to buy. This link follows that client, and when that agent closes the deal, guess what? They send you the check. I did over 200 referrals last year, and I love My Link, My Lead. And then obviously the referral division with over, with all the tens of thousands of agents worldwide, you have direct access to these referral groups, and every single day I see these referrals going off like crazy. And I had an agent that was brand new. He was the first agent to join eXp in a city, and he's like, dude, I've never received a referral in my life, and I was at Remax for 30 years. He goes, I came to eXp, and in my first month at eXp, he got 4 referrals for his marketplace. And I've already walked you through a lot of this training, the eXp University, multiple trainings taught by top producing agents, Fast Start, Fast Cap, mentorship. I've already talked about that. Elevate Coaching Team Leader Academy. The thing about Team Leader Academy is if you're a team agent, or say you're a solo agent wanting to become a team agent, you can enroll in Team Leader Academy in advance, and then it's $2,500. If you were to buy it outside of eXp, it would be anywhere from 50 to 90 grand, because you get 6 one-on-one calls with your EOS coach, and those calls are anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000 if you were to buy it directly from EOS. We have so much bulk buying power, just like our CRM of choice. We're the only brokerage on the planet that offers CRM of choice, and that is what Leo, our CEO here at eXp, is doing for us every day. I've already talked about eXpCon and regional rallies, mastermind and in real life events, continuing ed, and then broker-led classes. And we've already talked about all of the amazing broker support, eXp care and transactions. And like I said, you can call that number any single time and it's in real life. But I had an agent on board and he got stuck, and it's because he was at eXp once before. And you can see right here, I'm gonna pull up his text message. He texted me, he said, hey dude, because I told him, I said, hey, there's an AI tool that should be helping you guide you your way through the onboarding. I said, just tell it that your account's frozen and that you were here once before. He did. He texted me, he's like, dude, this assistant helped me and it was so easy and so fast. We have specific resources for team services. We have access to transaction coordination. But I'm gonna tell you right now, with the advancement of AI, transaction coordination is probably gonna be the biggest threat, because there's eXp's founder, Glenn, and our chief technology officer, Seth, just went to OpenAI event 3 weeks ago down at ChatGPT. And they said the stuff that's coming down the pipe is absolutely mind blowing. It's gonna revolutionize real estate. And right now on the back end of eXp, on our back end systems, we actually have AI already built in. So you can go in there and type in, you know, which one of the agents in my organization is hit their cap this year. It'll pull up the whole list. You could say, okay, now make me that template in Canva, congratulating them. Boom, it'll do that. There's a lot of cool things. You know, tell me how many deals I've done in Portland, Oregon in 2023. Boom, it'll send you all the information. Compliance team, IT assistant. So if you're having issues with your eXp world, you can pop into IT assistance. There's, you know, our growth in team services, and then obviously onboarding. So that's all of the things that you get here at eXp, which I think this is the eXp advantage, you guys. This is absolutely game changing. No other company in the world, if you never sold a single house here at eXp, $149 setup and then $85 a month to get all of this. It doesn't exist. eXp is making a bet on the agents, and especially if you're brand new, this is exactly where you need to start. I never would have said this 5 years ago because I just didn't think it was, the systems weren't set up the way they are now. It's crazy. And we are seeing, I think we have an average of like 9.7% of our agents are returning every single day, because agents come here. A lot of agents think they're gonna get rich quick because they see all the revenue share. And there's a disclaimer down below that actually tells you about all the actual numbers, because they tell me that I'm not normal, which I don't know. That's what my mom used to say. Jesse, you're not normal, you're not normal, you're special. Well, now eXp saying the same thing based on these numbers. I don't know, you can tell me for yourself. But anyone that puts in the effort and the energy to doing that is gonna get the results. It doesn't matter if you're generating leads for your business. And at the end of the day, don't let anyone fool you and say, oh, get in early and you're gonna get rich quick. You guys, at the end of the day, it's all about selling real estate. That's where a lot of people go sideways and they forget is we're here to generate leads. We're here to follow the laws. We're here to provide the Nordstrom level client experience. And then you're supposed to close the deals and put commissions into your bank account. And your brokers need to put you on a path to doing that. If you look at a lot of these brokerages, whether it's companies like LPT, companies like Fathom, yes, they have these flat fee models and they just tell you to pass that cost along to your clients, which is complete BS, because I think 90% the agents end up taking on as well. Here's the thing, they don't provide a path forward into scalability. If you look at someone like Fathom, and the only reason I'm picking on them is because all of their agents are like 2 to 18 unit producers. And I always tell the agents that I speak with over there, as I say, who in your office is doing over 70 transactions a year? And they're like, nobody. And I'm like, exactly, because as soon as you hit 18 deals, you're on a diminished return on investment. So if you're surrounded by a bunch of mid-level producers, where is that going to take your business? And here's the thing, that's great if that's all you ever want to sell. But I'm telling you, there are more options to have better advantages by being in a brokerage like eXp versus being in that, because you're going to be surrounded by all of these people with limited mindsets. And if you love that environment, then eXp is probably not the place for you anyways. And then you're probably wondering what all of these plus things are. So we have additional things that do cost additional money to get additional, resources. So eXp Luxury, it's an extra $2,000 or $2,500 a year. And then you can go onto the eXp Luxury platform, and I'll show you what that looks like actually. And what locks down lots of listings for me, which I think is well worth the money, is this presentation creator. So you just come in here and plug in a picture of the consumer's house and you just hit generate. And I already have my picture and my information in here. So if I want to view this presentation, I send a link to my client before. This is a pre-listing template. Dude, 100% lockdown every single time. So it tells you exactly like what we're gonna do with their marketing. It shows their house. This is a very like ugly house in my opinion, but it's like showing it on their computer, on the iPad, on the phone. The consumer's going googly eyes. I just took their last listing picture and threw it in here. It's showing it what it looks like on the Wall Street Journal, in the Robb Report, on Unique Homes, Mansion Global. So the house needs to be over 6,000 square foot or whatever to go into Mansion Global. Upmarket, Market Watch, Barron's, James Edition, Luxury Estates, Haven, international advertising. Dude, this stuff makes people's eyes go freaking out of their head. All of the international reach. And then every week they get a report back from that showing exactly how many people clicked on the links onto their listing. Now you can have up to 10 listings on this at once. And here's the thing, you can buy this outside of eXp. And Sotheby's has this too, and I think they charge $500 per listing. So if you did 10 listings, that's $5,000. We pay $2,500 to have 10 on at a time. And if you were to buy this individually through Luxury Presence, I think it's like $1,000 a listing or more per listing. If you're gonna do one listing a year, I always tell agents, you better jump on this. And then you get also access to all the commercial luxury assets. We have a commercial division. If you wanna sell a commercial while you're a residential agent, you can do that. If you wanna go straight into commercial, we have the best tools. We have access to CoStar. We have access to Crexi, all of the tools, all of the trainings. If you wanna get commercial certified as a residential agent, you can do that. You just can't sell business opportunities as a residential agent. So you'd have to co-list with a commercial agent. We have our international programs, Land and Ranch. That's just like luxury. I already talked about Regis Solutions. We got healthcare. We got group rate healthcare. That is unknown in every other brokerage out there. That's super cool if you need healthcare with your family. Definitely check that out. Then we have our stock programs. Click on this. So right here in the stock awards, when you close your first transaction of your year, every calendar year, rotating year, you get $200 in eXp for stock for closing your first deal. You get $400 in stock when an agent caps every single time. You get $400 in stock if you recruit an agent and then they close their first transaction. So stock is different than revenue share. Two wildly different things. So I've directly recruited over 100 direct agents. Every time they sold their first house, I got $400 in stock. That's $40,000 in stock if all 100 agents sold one home. $40,000 in stock. That's a game changer. You can directly put 5% of your commissions, net commissions, to stock at a 5% discount. 65% of agents are doing that, and you can opt in and opt out anytime. So if you're like eXp stock is nosediving, you can pull out and just wait till it hits the bottom when you think, and then start rebuying again at the bottom. If eXp is on a tear and you're not investing, but you want to now because you see the growth potential, boom, you can jump right in. Now, eXp top agents, which is our icon agents, that's an agent that does, as a solo agent, you're hitting your cap and then you're doing 20 additional deals. You're gonna get $16,000 back in eXp stock, which is super cool. And then you get a stock award like this. I told you guys at the beginning, I had 5 of them. I actually have my 6th one coming right now. And I started here in 2020. So I'm coming up on my 6th year here at eXp, and I just hit icon again. So that's super exciting. All right, so that was a ton of information. And like I said, I think I pretty much checked off all of the top concerns with coming to eXp. And I'm really excited that you're doing your research on eXp, because the person that is informed and educated the most gets to make the best decisions for themselves, their families, their real estate careers moving forward. And I'm just gonna tell you, I've seen agents come into eXp and absolutely explode their business. I have an agent right now that started with me in October of last year, and he's only been into real estate now for a few months, and he is actively closing 2 to 3 transactions every single month. But he did the work. He showed up every day. He did the activities that he was told. I've also seen brand new agents come in and absolutely fail. And it's very simple for me to look at you and say, are you somebody that's willing to do the work and become very successful? Are you someone that doesn't want to do the work and you're not gonna be successful? And are you just a hobbyist real estate? Do you know that they say that if an agent does under 5 transactions a year, they are considered a part-time agent? And I always say, if you're 1 year, 1 home sold is equivalent to 1 month of experience. So someone asked me the other day, they said, do you think 18-year-olds should be able to sell houses? And I said, what's the difference between an 18-year-old that has sold 0 homes and somebody that's, let's say, my age and has sold 0 homes? I said, life experience is it, but let's say now you take an 18-year-old that has sold 12 houses versus somebody of my age that has sold 0 houses. The 18-year-old is the one that's taken it to the house. There's an 18-year-old right now at eXp that is doing over 100 transactions a year in his first year in real estate, and he does it all through open houses. And if you're looking for more ways to learn how to do real estate at the highest level. And let's say you want to be like me, and I do a lot of my business through YouTube. I'm the co-founder of the Channel Junkies. You check out my business partner Jackson's YouTube channel, the Channel Junkies. You'll see our podcast over there. There's so many different ways, but at the end of the day, it always comes back to production and who you're aligned with. And eXp has recently released a thing called co-sponsorship, which now not only allows you to partner with someone like me, where I'm going to give you all of my tools and systems with building a business through YouTube, but also we can partner up with someone that maybe aligns with another specialty that you have. And what I mean by that is, let's just say maybe you're someone that's like all in on expired listings. I actually brought on an agent the other day who was telling me that he was gung-ho on expired listings, but he also wanted to do YouTube. I have an agent partner who's built out a fully automated expired listing system. And I said, hey, why don't you speak with him? Well, now he's partnered up with that agent, and he not only gets his systems, but he also gets me because I'm in that agent's upline. So he gets my systems, and now he has another draft pick to go and align with another organization. And I told him who to go speak with because now he gets access into their systems, and that doesn't cut our revenue share down at all. This incentivizes us to help agents grow at a faster level, and it gives agents more power and puts more tools into their toolbox. And whether you're someone that's interested in agent attraction, because let's be real, less than 10% of agents here at eXp earned revenue share last year. And that's because 90% of agents are focused on production. We have special masterminds every week for agents in different categories. And they have an in-person event every quarter, and it's for the top 250 team leads and 50 solo agents. And then they have one for the agents that are in what they call the alpha and beta group. And those are the top attractors in the company. And I think there's like 140 agents in there, and they're two different groups. There's some that cross over, but I am telling you, there are so much opportunity and so many available things for you. And I am someone that cares about agent success. Now, a lot of agents, you never hear this. You never hear them talking about production, and you never hear them telling you what's best for you. They're like, you need to get up at 6 a.m., do 50 push-ups, hit the cold plunge, blah, 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 blah. That is not going to get you close transactions that funnel commissions in your bank account. Now, those are all great for building good habits. And depending on who you follow, they might say that those things are good or bad for you. Push-ups are always great for you, right? Cold plunge, that's now like on the other side, people are now saying that that's bad for you. Regardless of all of that noise, at the end of the day, this is about you and your business and the people you directly touch. If you are not aligned with people that can actually help you, point you in the right direction, I am telling you, you're going to end up in the same cycle over and over and over and over. I literally just had an agent contact me yesterday. She said, look, Jesse, I know I've told you before, I'm going to make this move multiple times, but I have finally came to the point where I'm going to consistently do the same thing every single year unless I make this move. I agree. I know based on what you're doing, where you're going to go based on your current trajectory and the decisions you've made. People hate making moves, but I am telling you, it is necessary when you are at a position of staticness. Because if you move from franchise to franchise to franchise, yes, you may be able to pick up little edges of the deal, but the only person that's incentivized for your success is the brokerage owner. When you come to eXp, all agents are shareholders in the company. You get stock when you close your first deal. Now we're all incentivized to help each other grow. Also on the revenue share, our brokerage is giving back the agents that money, which I'm pouring my money back into my agents' growth. A lot of the agents I speak with are pouring the money back into their agents' growth. And so it really depends who you join here of how your success is going to be. Because a lot of agents, I hear it all the time, they're like, oh, I joined this agent and then he did absolutely nothing. Look, your sponsor is required to do nothing but help you onboard. That's what the ISA says. However, there's agents that go above and beyond like myself, and many other agents here are doing the exact same, which is exactly why I have now partnered up with them to help agents with their business through co-sponsorship. So if you're someone that's made it all the way this far in my video, you might want to consider subscribing, because I am the realest agent out there doing the latest updates, talking about the latest strategies and everything to do with eXp Realty. And you can always come here first. And honestly, I probably get about anywhere from 3 to 4 DMs every single day with agents saying they're coming to join eXp. And I will tell you, it's either a good fit or it's not. And I have no problem telling you that when we get on the call. And let me tell you, more times than not, it is a great fit. And I get text messages and DMs from agents every single day saying you changed my life. And if that's what you're looking for, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Until next time, we'll catch you later.